Good afternoon. This is Benedict Forsyth with a news roundup by the TRIAC Chronicle of the latest Aether recordings in the news at the moment, keeping you informed in even these darkest of times. First tonight, in a follow-up story to our last recording, you may recall the resistance broadcasts that TRIAC have been receiving from various parts of the globe. We have to report that regrettably, communication with all activity from the cell located deep in the red zone of Norfolk, West Virginia, has ceased. The FAU fears the worst with this unfortunate resistance cell, but with resources stretched thin, the nation has regrettably decided that it will not be possible to mount an investigative mission to the area for some time. They have pledged to do so as soon as their forces become available, but with President Stewart unavailable for comment, they have refused the aid of TRIAC at this time. Sources in New Richmond have been quoted stating that this is an internal matter and will be dealt with as such. We will continue to listen for information, and our hearts go out to those brave fighters now apparently lost to the Martian menace. We have had unconfirmed reports that the trouble in the Mongol Steps has grown more intense. The recent killings in the lower steppes have stopped, but there are unconfirmed reports of free-roaming Tenko warriors appearing in the steppe territories. These mechanical men do not seem to have any masters controlling them, and as such, we are assuming, at this time, this is an extension of the continuing problem that the IEU is having with their most prized technological achievements. Charles Bembridge, owner and editor of the Bembridge Antiquities Gazette, has asked us to report this short statement and apology. The recent report on the so-called Da Vinci vaults in a previous recording has been discovered to be slightly inaccurate. We reported that Mercio Glaston and a team of TRIAC agents found a diary and a cryptex in this vault. It seems that a cryptex was not actually found, but rather just mentioned by Agent Glaston in his report, in reference to the possibility of finding one in the future. How astute of the agent to consider the fact that something so rare and unique might be found without any evidence to the contrary. We await more evidence on the possible existence of such a thing and apologize for the error in our initial report. The reputed and widely respected adventurer, Lady Pandora Ravenscroft of the Commonwealth of Britannia, has piqued our interest here at the Chronicle recently for more than one reason. Firstly, it has been reported that the TRIAC agent has been involved in some intriguing archaeological excavations in the territory of the Argentine Combine. It seems that Lady P, as she is known to her friends, has uncovered something very interesting from the sands of Morocco. The nature of this artifact is unknown to this reporter at present. It was apparently uncovered amidst the excavated remains of an old Berber settlement, but the lady has decided to keep the exact nature of the find a closely guarded secret. But where Lady Pandora Ravenscroft is concerned, the intrigue does not stop in the dusty lands of the Combine. This reporter has had information from a very reliable source that the lady has very recently been secretly married to an unknown suitor. Intriguing gossip galore, once again from the lands of Britannia. Whatever will be next, I wonder. New international news from the land of Royal Australia now, as we at the Chronicle can confirm the first breaking confirmed news of a new Martian offensive by a large force from northern red zones into South Australia. The forces of the Royal Sky Armada have engaged the Martians across a 200-mile section of the Great Martian Fence and are, as of our last information, still holding strong, although losses have been taken on both sides. This new assault is one of many that have begun in the last few days, with this being one of the larger. We have also learned that Princess Catherine Saxe-Coburg, the daughter of the Queen herself, insisted upon taking her fleet position aboard Sky Commodore Sir Lawrence Atterbridge's flagship Resolution. She is on the front line, an inspiration to the troops that fight alongside her. I was lucky enough to be able to get this quote from her over Ethergraph earlier today. The Royal Australian Protectorate are holding strong. United as one, we will protect our home and annihilate these pathetic maggots. My confidence does not falter as we continue to stand against this enemy. Our sovereign queen, my sister, wishes these scum removed from our planet, and we will not ignore her command. We will join in her battle cry and destroy them. Let it be heard that I, Princess Catherine Saxe-Coburg, do not fear these invaders, and we will fight to the last breath to see them gone. The world must stand strong and do the same." Shortly after this broadcast, the Resolution came under fire from a pair of Martian walkers, and communication was ended. We will provide more information when we have it, but our thoughts are with the brave Australian forces as they battle for their lives and their homeland. In Madagascar, the battle continues to be fought in earnest, and the slim treaty between the Commonwealth and the Protectorate continues to hold. Latest news from this theatre of war is that new forms of Martian forces have been seen commanding troops on the front lines. These new life forms, classified as overseers by Army intelligence, have been reported to possess phenomenal powers, similar to those of Resonance. High Command of both nations have deemed it the capture of one of these new Martians a priority and have assigned all available resources to the task. Lord Artemus Barrow Percival, 11th Duke of Devon, and ace pilot, has been seen on the front line, and with heroes like this on our side, how can we fail to push back the invaders? In the Commonwealth, a rising trend of unsavoury medical experiments on human test subjects has become increasingly prevalent. This goes hand in hand with a rise in grave-robbing incidents across the nation. Admiralty security forces have been searching for the culprits, but as yet have not uncovered any leads. Most unsavoury. News from the FAU on the attempted assassination attempt on President Courtney Stewart some days ago. The President was attacked by a never-before-seen alien species as she visited the site of a recent Martian attack on a settlement on the Canadian Red Zone border. It is reported that the man-sized insectoid creature sprang out of the rubble of a ruined house and would have certainly killed the FAU Commander-in-Chief were it not for the timely intervention of the mysterious Patriot, who managed to kill the creature before it slew the President. Eyewitness reports say he took a terrible wound that would have killed a normal person before he disappeared into the wasteland once again. It seems that Mrs. President owes the Patriot a great debt, and mayhap we will see her opinion change on the matter of vigilantes in the future. The situation in the Falkland Islands is still ongoing after the legal salvaging of a shipment of TRIAC heat rays en route to Bermuda were installed on the island. A new nation calling itself the Argentine Combine has contacted TRIAC and requested that their petition for entry into the club be heard and they be recognized as a major nation on the world scene. Lord Grey, currently stationed at TRIAC's Bermuda headquarters, had this to say on the matter. TRIAC Command believes that establishing a base in the southern Atlantic Ocean would be invaluable to the neutralizing of the hostile forces within the continents of South America and Africa, which could eventually lead to the human race's final victory. Negotiations with our Patagonian neighbours over use of the Falkland Islands to house this facility would provide a perfect opportunity of partnership, providing both parties with access to resources and technology which would be mutually beneficial. It seems that the Martians are not the only ones to be on the move at the moment. Prussia has recently sent a whole division of regular troops with armoured support to its borders with Free Scandinavia, seemingly to bolster the border posts on the edge of its territory. It seems that the Prussians may have designs on the lands to the north, but for now no aggressive moves have been made. Air Marshal Brunhilde von Gruber had this to say on the matter. This is simply an exercise in troop movement and deployment. Nothing more, nothing less. We are carrying out numerous similar actions throughout the hegemony. There is nothing to be alarmed about. Prussia stands strong and will continue to do so. These maneuvers allow us to remain the best fighting force the world has seen. Maneuvers, exercises, actions. Let us hope that this is all they are, for the sake of more than simply Free Scandinavia. And finally tonight, reports of a large fleet of Arctic Concord nautiloids and surface vessels on manoeuvres on the very edge of their international waters have been confirmed by Chronicle sources. The reasons for this are unknown, but seemingly in response there have been heightened activity in the Russian collective's Arctic seaports. Are we about to see another clash between these two rival nations? Only time can tell. That is the end of this compilation of news from the last week's news. This is Benedict Forsyth, signing out for the TRIAC Chronicle. Good night, keep listening, and keep safe.